That's right, boys. Welcome to the side of the ring because it's time for some ringside rumors. Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair both stirred up speculation they could be returning soon. Flair with a pic of her wrestling boots on her Instagram story, and Banks with a TikTok of her training in Mexico City with the caption, "She's coming," and WWE, AEW, and Joshi Perosu hashtags. Okay, cool. Only time will tell. I mean, we can sit here and be like, okay, but I mean, unless we actually see them in the ring, this could just be them stirring up shit, so we don't actually know. Next, Kevin Owens is still hurt, per Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, but Owens should be able to continue working through his knee injury. I don't think that's something you should be doing. If you've got a knee injury, maybe you shouldn't work through it, because then you could exacerbate it, and then you'll have to be out even longer. But that... oh my lord, I'm not a doctor. Next, an internal WWE memo promoting the success of Survivor Series got into Fightful Select's hands. It claimed the November 26 PLE was the most viewed Survivor Series on record, with the best in-venue merch sales in event history, increased year-over-year social media video views, and a 48% improvement in fan enjoyment rating from 2021 show. This contradicts the article that I read earlier in today's episode. So he was saying that like the Google search was like down 35%. But then it's like the increased year-over-year social media video views and a 48% improvement in fan enjoyment rating. So, I mean, I guess it was all right. I mean, according to the numbers, I mean, I guess. So, from what I can take away from this, it could have been better, but ultimately, it wasn't bad. That's the best I could do. Next, in his interview with Fightful, Dax Harwood said FTR thought their AEW contracts were up this year, but their current understanding is they expire in April of 2023. He also said the team is considering taking a year off from wrestling for major companies so that they can take indie bookings that seem like fun to them. I talked about this in the last episode, actually, so we don't really need to talk more about this. Next, Andrade El Idolo tweeted that he tore his pec in his August 17th trios match with Roosh and Dragon Lee against the Elite, which would mean he worked all out casino ladder match with the injury. Ric Flair commented on Andrade's injury on his latest To Be The Man podcast. "I know it was a bad tear, so he's going to be out a while with it." Yeah, I mean, if it's anything like Cody Rhodes' pectoral tear, I'm sure he's going to be out for a decent amount of time. And, you know, as always, hope he makes a speedy recovery and he's back sooner rather than later. Finally, Dakota Kai told the Getting Over podcast that a couple years ago, Bayley wanted her, Candice LeRae, and Tegan Knox for a Damage Control-like stable. A pitch for an updated version that included Kai, Sky, and Kaylee Ray, now Alba Fire, and Raquel Gonzalez. Wow. Early this year, got to the point group photos were taken and introductory videos filmed before plans changed. Wow. Okay. So it's going to be 4 instead of 3. And I mean, yeah, Alba Fire seems like an absolutely fantastic fit because she's doing great on NXT right now. That would be good. You know what? You could make that a storyline down the line. Raquel Rodriguez joining Damage Control. That'd be pretty good. And Candice LeRae, yeah, that's really interesting, actually. I mean, listen, never say never. I would love it if it just turned into a big NWO DX-like stable. It was just fucking 6 of them. That'd be awesome. I mean, listen, never say never, okay? We're going to have to wait and see if that actually is going to happen at some point. What do we talk about? Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair, they both started a speculation. Okay, until we actually see them in the ring, though, there's not really much I can say. Kevin Owens is still working through his knee injury. That's probably not a good idea, okay? I'm not a doctor, but maybe you shouldn't work through a knee injury that you could potentially make worse. That's just me. Survivor Series did great, despite the numbers, I guess, and also despite Dave Meltzer. I mean, I don't know. If you ask me, it could have had better build and maybe like one more match, but that's just me, okay? At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what I say. But listen, the merch was doing well. The year-over-year social media video views increased. Yeah, they increased, and there was a 48% improvement in fan enjoyment rating. So, I mean, listen, it did better than the last one. So, I mean, really, that's all they're really looking for, to be totally honest with you. We already talked about the Harwood FTR thing and how their contract expired in April 2023. I already talked about how they're pulling like a Bryan Danielson and stuff like that, so we don't really need to talk any more about that. Andrade tore his pec. It was in the 6-man with Rouge and Dragon Lee against the Elite. I mean, yeah, and then he worked through the pec, and then he worked through the all-out casino ladder match. Again, I mean, if it's anything like Cody's pectoral tear, he's probably going to be out for a decent amount of time, so we're going to have to wait and see when he's going to be coming back with that. And turns out Damage Control, we're going to have 4 people instead of 3, and instead of Kai, Sky, and Bayley, it was going to be Kai, Sky, Fire, and Raquel Gonzalez. I would love to see that actually be like teased or like looked at in the near future, but only time will tell what's actually going to happen, and we're going to have to wait and see. Folks, that's going to do it for this episode of Ringside Rumors. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode because I certainly enjoyed making it. I'll definitely catch you guys in the next one.